Yeah, for Diablo 2 Resurrected, are there any type of changes? I know you probably want some more changes than I do, but what would you think? I know Diablo 4 is coming around, so I don't know how many more changes are going to come really to Diablo 2 Resurrected. What stuff would you like to kind of see in the future for D2R?
So there's so much you can do around changing unique items. I think at the end of the day, like that, if I could do one thing, I want to change unique items, all the unique items that don't get used, and even, even maybe introduce some new ones like they're doing with rune words. I love what they're doing with the rune words. I love that they're adding new rune words to the game, but I don't think rune words are the end all be all. I think we have this great system that already exists in the game with unique items that really could use an updating to, patch 2.6. Everything else has been updated. You can balance classes just through the items that we get, and everything doesn't have to be a mosaic, or it doesn't have to look like a unique item from Diablo 3 where you get a special unique ability, but just make them usable. Like I'd love to see, you drop a Mang songs and say it's going to cast lower res for you when you're teleporting around, or just add some cool things to these
There's
items.
no way you just came up with that on the spot. You thought about that one before.
I've thought about this a lot. Listen, Blizzard, call me if you want, or me and Phil, we'll go through, we'll look at every unique item and we'll give you a recommendation on how you could change it, how you could adjust it a bit slightly. And like, I'm playing through the game, Phil, and I see a unique item drop. Most of the time, I just pass it by. Like, it's not even something I would pick up my character. Like, they're pretty rare to find in terms of all the items, all the stuff that we see on our screen. If we see a gold name, I want to pick it up. I want to be able to put it on. I want to immediately get stronger from it. And there's just so many bad items in the game where even if you found it on a speed run or a normal playthrough or a single player or a ladder reset, you wouldn't even use it. And it's a unique item. It's supposed to hold all this power, and it provides you with little to no benefit. I'd like to be able to pick up an item that's unique and put it on and get to use it. We talk about D2R, we talk about Diablo 2 itemization like it is the holy grail for all other games. I don't think it is in its current, like, I really think some of the unique items are great, but I'd like to see everything sort of on par with what's a very mid, like a unique item, like a vampire gaze. I think vampire gaze is a great item. It's maybe not the meta in some cases, maybe in one specific niche it's the best helm that you could use, but it's pretty strong. It's pretty usable. What if everything were sort of level to that? Like, yeah, you're still gonna have your Shakos, you're still gonna have your your arachnids, mesh, and the unique items that are really great and everyone's gonna use. But why not have everything sort of on that same playing field, for its level requirement? Like, Vampire Gaze is really good for its level, but why can't we get some level 18 items that are good that we could pick up and use if we need to? And then why are these super rare items? Like, why isn't every TC-87 as strong as a Griffin's or even close? Like, some of them you'd never even pick up if you saw them drop. But Executioner's Justice, who's going to use that? Who's ever going to use that weapon? It's just it's worthless, but it's so rare to drop. Oh, it's beautiful. Wouldn't you love to pick one up and start swinging it at something and actually do like some damage? Wouldn't that be cool? Like, I don't need to use a grief every time. I don't need to use Breath of the Dying. I don't think we have to. We have to accept that rune words are the end all be all to our builds. I'd love to see the unique item system reworked. And there's such a rich system built into the game already. You don't have to change drop rates at all. Just make the items good. Like, the system is already there. It already exists. They just need to be worthwhile to find. And I think that would be a great change to the game. And you could even tweak and gear them towards the classes that you think need to be buffed and changed. And then you don't have to go through the effort of doing a class balance change necessarily. If you on every melee weapon, if you give them melee splash, guess what? You could just boosted melee builds. You just gave them a great buff that maybe makes them viable.
Yeah,
again.
you're on the splash damage train. You're one of those guys, right?
I'm saying that there are melee gets a lot of flack, right? So the way that melee interacts in this game, you don't see a lot of people. I don't see you playing melee much, Phil. And I've caught your streams. Well,
No. Pit Zerker is about it. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Pit Zerker, yeah. Pit Zerker is
yeah.
great. Pit Zerker is a great build, but I'd like to see more melee. You know, Barbarian he's the centerpiece when we open up the game, and like, yeah, he's really good at what he does, right? Pit Zerker, best in the game at farming unique items, target farming, what have you. But that's really it. Like the Barb is really good at doing those things, but why can't he be good at doing other things? He's such a you know a powerful force. He's the center of the campfire when you sign on, but nobody plays him. You couldn't sell a Barb torch. You couldn't give away a Barb torch if you found one on you know as your first torch of the season. It's just not a build that's very popular. So I say, why not make these characters better? I think the class balances, it will be balanced when every torch is worth the same. When you're not, you know, really gambling for that Sork torch. And we saw it this season, actually, like assassin torches. People are, you know, people really, I do a lot of Ubers on stream. So this is how I can tell that the games are balanced. Like you saw me do the minute Ubers. It's because I do so much. I want to make sure I can do it fast. People are loving assassin torches this season. Before you couldn't get rid of assassin torch. You couldn't trade one for a Lem rune. And, you know, that's how I know that some balance has come to that class. And I'd like to see, you know, a more even distribution of all the characters used. And I think a lot of the melee classes are still lacking. So however you want to address it, whether it's through my idea of unique items or through other balance changes, that's what I would be for in terms of changes for the future. Okay. Yeah, and I really like unique items. I think it's a missed opportunity to not, you know, tweak them. It doesn't have to be massive changes. Just make them usable, so I pick it up and I can put it on.
I feel like, and this is pure speculation on my part, but I'm guessing the reason that they do the rune word thing is I think it's probably just easier, right? That would be my suspicion, because if they did end up reworking uniques, I think they might fall into the same situation that Project Diablo 2 did. And I don't know, I'm not a programmer, but it would mess up like non-ladder, people melting down because their wind forces got bricked and it's just it poofed or something because they changed something. So I'm guessing like the reason that they just keep going back to rune words is because they can change this or that or add this in, and then boom, you know, nothing gets deleted or changed. It's something new on top of, you know. And it's kind of interesting. I don't know if you had known this, but actually, if you had made a rune word before they added in the rune word, when it comes in, it just turns into the rune word. Did you know that? Because I had some people
that's kind of cool.
Like, oh no, I'm on non-ladder. I made a flickering flame and it just like didn't do anything. We're like, dude, it's not on non-ladder yet. We're like, well, I'm like, don't Charcy it yet. Just wait. And somebody had told me this. They're like, oh yeah, when the ladder reset or whatever, and they were on non-ladder, it just turned into a flickering flame. Like, it was awesome. I was like,
that's so cool.
I'm happy for you. Yo, fellas, this is a new channel, so double check and make sure you're subscribed up.